Okay, so we'll be doing 7 examples together, then after that we will end this lesson. So I'm totally fine if you want to like treat it as your exercise, then I think it will be very good if you can try to go through the exercise one time before you continue the video, like since you already have all the question, right? So take some time to go through it, try to do yourself, then after that use this video like as an explanation to your exercise or like an discussion with you to get the answer. Okay, so I encourage you to go through one time yourself first for all the questions. So for the question that you didn't get your answer, then only you stop the video and you'll refer to it. Okay, alright, so number 1, the numbers 4, 8, x, 15, 17, 21 are arranged in ascending order. Find x if the mean is the same with the median. Okay, so the information given by this question is that the mean is equal to the median. Okay, so how do we find the mean? So yeah, it will be good if you can take a paper, then for statistic write down every formula, especially the formula that will be given in your exam. So just put it aside, then you can know that like what formula is the formula that will actually given and you don't need to memorize it, and what is the thing that will not given, then you need to remember yourself. Okay, so for the mean it's basically this one. So how do we find that? It's the sum of observation divided by n, right? So observation meaning what is your data here. So to find the mean, meaning for 8, x, 15, 17, 21 divide by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so 6, and then equals to, so the median. So this already arranged, they already tell you that it's arranged in ascending order, so meaning that you can straight away like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, so in the middle is like the midpoint between x and 15. So x plus 15 divided by 2, so this will be equal to each other. Then you straight away to use your calculator to continue to find your answer. Okay, so here you'll be getting 75 plus x divided by 6, and then equals to x plus 15 divided by 2. Then you can do cross multiplication. Plus 2x equals to 6x plus 90. So 4x equals to 40, then that gives you 10 x equals to 10. Okay, so yeah, like pretty easy, right? Okay, number 2, given a set of the number 5, 7, 13, 5, 11, 13, 4, x, y has a mode of 5 and the mean of 8. So you need to find the x, the y, and the median. Okay, so how do we do that? So yeah, has a mode of 5, so I think maybe it will be good if we try to arrange everything in order. Okay, so you have 4. Since we don't know what is x and y, then we just put it as the last number. Okay, so 4, 5, 5, then you have 7, and you have 1, 11, 2, 13, no more, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so that's all. Then x and y. Okay, so this number has a mod of 5. So you see there are 2, 5 and 2, 13 here. So if the mode is only 5, meaning that the number of 5, like the frequency of 5, must be greater than 13. So meaning either your x and y, one of them must be 5, correct? So the first thing that I get from, since the mode is 5, so meaning that either your x or y is 5. Okay, that's the first thing I get. So the other one, the question gives me the mean is actually 8. So the formula again, so mean is the observation, the sum of observation divided by how many number that you have. So 4 plus 5 plus 5 plus 7 plus 11 plus 13 plus 13 plus x plus y, then you have everything, and then divide by how many number that you have here, 2, 4, 6, 8, then 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Okay, so 9 number that you have, then equals to your mean is 8. Okay, so if you can, then maybe you can write the what is that called, your formula in front of it. So like this one equals to this. So this is why we are doing this. Okay, so you can continue to do that. So 58 plus x plus y will be equals to, move this over, 72. So your x plus y is basically equals to 14. So since x plus y must be equals to 14 and either one of the value must be 5, so meaning your answer should be either x equals to 5, and then for you to get 14, meaning y must be 9. So y equals to 9, or x equals to 9 and y equals to 5. Okay, then after that, when you want to find the median, then you need to rearrange everything again. So which you have 4, 5, 5, 5, because one of it is 5, right? So 7, 9, 11, 13, 13. So what's your median? So your median is the middle one. So this one will be easy, then we just look at it lah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so 7. Is that alright? Okay, so median is 7. Okay, so let's move on to number 3. The mean of the number x minus y 8, 10, x plus y is 9. The standard deviation is 5. And then find out the x and the y. Okay, so for this question, same thing, just using a formula. So you'll realize like for statistics, it's basically about a lot of formula and about steps. So you need to understand like all the symbol, then actually it shouldn't have problem for you. Like even you have something like this, then you just understand what is sigma, then what is x bar, then you actually can do all the question already. So it's just like getting use of it. Okay, so the mean is 9, so meaning that I have mean equals to 9. Okay, so what is mean? Mean is the sum of observation divided by n will be equals to 9. So let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 4 number here. So x minus y plus 8 plus 10 plus x plus y divided by 4. Okay, equals to 9. Alright? Yeah, it's just basically how many number you have, so it's 4, then you plus all your observation together. So when you plus them together, right, you see negative y and plus y, they will eliminate each other, so that's why you're left with 2x plus 18, and then 4 times 9, you get 36. So 2x equals to 18, and then what's your x? Your x is basically equals to 9. Okay, so after you find your 9 already, how do you get y? Because you can't get y because this formula, the y tends to eliminate each other. So that's why you need to use the standard deviation equals to 5 to find your answer. So standard deviation equals to 5. If standard deviation is 5, then what's the variance? Yeah, 5 squared. So which gives you 25. So meaning that we use the formula of this. Okay, so the sum of x squared divided by n minus the mean squared equals to 25. Okay, so do we have this? Yes, then we just square everything together, then add them up. So x minus y squared plus 8 squared plus 10 squared plus x plus y squared divide by 4 number that you have, then minus the mean. What's the mean just now? The mean is 9, so 9 squared equals to 25. Okay, then you move it here and there, then you expand your equation here. Then you will be getting oops, I'm sorry. Since you already got y, got x already, then why not you put your x as 9? Okay, yeah, so like that you will left with one variable. Then you continue to do that, then you should be able to get y equals to positive negative 7. Okay, so try to do the working yourself. Okay, so let's move on the next one. So again, I hope that you already tried before you continue to watch the video, okay? Okay, number 4. The mean mass of a group of a student is 45 kg with standard deviation of 5. 2 new students, each of the mass 50 kg and 60 kg join the group. Calculate the mean and the standard deviation for all the 10 students. Okay, so what you can try to do is you can write down the information that given by the question first. So the first one is that you have the group for 8 pupils. So for 8 pupils, your mean is actually 45 and your standard deviation is actually 5. Okay, then after that what happened is for the 10 pupils, right? What happened is you have 2 more students add in, which is 50 and 60, then join to the group. Then what is your new mean and your standard deviation? So can you actually like plus these two together and divide by 2 and you plus them? Okay, so you must make sure that you cannot do that. So when you plus something, right, what is that got affected first is the sum of your observation. So that's why you cannot do that. You need to find out what is your new sum first. Okay, so since you have the mean of 45, so the first thing that you can do is mean equals to 45. So that's why the sum of x divided by n is actually equals to 45. So sum of x is something that I don't know, but I know how many students that I have here, which is 8, divided by 45, meaning sum of the weight of the students for the 8 students is actually 360. Okay, so this is a total weight for the 8 pupils here. Okay, after that what happened? You have 2 new students, right? So after that, what is your new total weight? Then now you add your 50 and 60 in. So my new total of my x will be equals to 360 plus 50 plus 60, which will gives me 470. Is that okay? So with this new total of x, then I can find out what is my new mean, which is for the new total divided by how many number that I have is 10. So I get 47 kg. Is that alright? Okay, so the same thing goes for the variance or the standard deviation. Okay, so since it's given that for the old one, your standard deviation is actually 5, right? So your variance is 25. So again, the formula, sum of x squared divided by n minus the mean square will be equals to, your old one is 25. Okay, so this is the number that we don't know. Okay, so please make sure that something, yeah, since I write here, right, this and this is a different thing. So you cannot use this number to square and to get that, because this one meaning that you sum is the sum of your observation, then you square the sum. So this one is like you square your observation and you plus them together. So it's totally different thing. You will get different answer. Okay, divide by n, the number that you have before is 8, minus the previous mean equals to 25, and you continue to solve it. Sorry, I cannot show everything here. The space is like too small for me to use this pen. Okay, so my sum of x squared will be equal to 16400. So for me to find my new variance, then I need to use my new, okay, hold on. So this is my formula, right, for me to find the variance. Okay, so it will be equals to, okay, so what's my new total x squared? So it will be 16400 plus the new observation that I have. So 50 square, 60 square. And then divide by how many number I have now. So 10 minus of, again, this is my new mean, okay, 47 square. Then I will get an answer which is 41. So when you square root the answer, the standard deviation will give you 6.4. Okay, so can you try to check yourself? I'm sorry, it's a bit messy here. Yeah. Okay, so number 5. This is actually quite easy if you understand what the question gives you and what you need to find. Okay, the set of 5 numbers data have a mean of 30 and a variance of 6. So what you need to do is you need to find sum of x and sum of that, x minus mean square and then sum of x squared. Okay, so the question gives you 5 number data, meaning the question you are given n equals to 5. Okay, then the second thing, the mean is 30. So with symbol, you can write down everything given, then you don't need to keep on reading that. So variance 6. Okay, so A, you need to find sum of x. So with these 3 data, how can you find out sum of x? So it's basically the formula for mean. So mean equals to sum of x divided by n. So 30 equals to sum of x divided by 5. So which will give you sum of x equals to 150. Easy, right? Okay, so after that, move on to B. So how do you get that number? So it's basically this one is exactly the complicated formula for your variance. So how can you do that? So this one is pretty straightforward also. Oops. I'm sorry. This is standard deviation. Okay, so the variance here will be equals to sum of x minus x bar squared divided by n. Okay, so the sigma square given here is the variance is 6. So how do you find that? And then the n is 5. So the answer for this is basically 30. Okay, and move on for C. So this one is the one for the second formula. So variance equals to sum of x squared divided by n minus mean square. Okay, so what do you have here is like the variance equals to, this is the term that you want to find, divided by n, which is 5, minus a mean 30 square. Okay, and you continue to solve it and you should be able to get the answer 4530. Okay, number 6. Okay, a set of data consists of 5 numbers. The sum of the number is 40 and the sum of the square of the number is 365. Find the mean and the standard deviation. Okay, so a set of data consists of 5 numbers, meaning that n equals to 5. Okay, the sum of the number is 40. Okay, sum of the square of the number is 365. Yeah, so you see, actually you know what is that mean in symbol, then you can see actually it's so easy. Find the mean. So 40 divided by 5 gives you 8. Okay, finish. Standard deviation. So if you want to find the variance first also can. So let's do variance first. Okay, so sum of x squared, 365 divided by n, you have 5 number, minus your mean is 8 square. So you'll be getting equal to where is it? Yeah, so 365 divided by 5, you get 71, 73. 73 minus 64, you get 9. Okay, so standard deviation equals to square root, then it's 3. Oh, something that you must make sure that will be, so you remember what is the concept for standard deviation and variation, right? So when we do the process of the square, meaning that that is why we we try to square the number so that we don't have a negative distance, that we can try to balance up the positive distance. So that's why we try to square it. So that's why for standard deviation and variance, there is no negative answer. So when you do this part, when you get 9, right, it's straight away square root 9. So you don't have like positive, negative 9, because your variation and standard deviation will be always positive, because this number actually show like how far and how far or how close your data is. Okay, so a set of number having a mean of 8, find k if the mean becomes 7.5 when k is added to this set. Okay, so a set of 7 number, mean of 8. Okay, find k when the mean becomes 7.5 when k is added to the set. So this is for the old one. So meaning my new one, how many n I have? I add one number, right, which is k. So now I have 8 number. So what's my new mean? My new mean is 7.5. Okay, so when you add up a number, it's the same thing like for this question. So if you add a number, then what is going to change first? The total of your observation is going to change first. So that's why we need to find out what is the total, what is the sum of your x first. So since you have this one, so for the old one, let's do it here. Like the sum will be equals to sum of x divided by n, which is basically 8 equals to sum of x divided by 7. So sum of x is actually 56. Okay, for the new one, then you do the same thing. Sum is 7.5 equals to your new sum, and then divide by your new number is, you have 8 number now. So the sum of x here, you will be getting 60. Okay, so you can see the difference here, that meaning that what is k? The k is basically the new total minus the old total, which is 4. Because it's added like 4 into here, then this is how you get 60. Okay, alright, so yeah, that's how we end this example.